My name is Joe Cornish. I am the writer and director of episodes 1 and 8 of Lockwood Co.
I'm Cameron Chapman. I play Anthony Lockwood.
I'm Ruby Stokes and I play Lucy Carlyle.
My name's Ali Hadji-Heshmati. I play George Karim.
Lockwood Co. is built around this brand new idea when it comes to ghost stories. And it was a brilliant creation by the author Jonathan Stroud, on whose books the show is based. And it's the idea that ghosts can kill you by touching them.
Did he touch you?
Of course not. I'd be dead.
So in previous stories, they could throw objects at you, scare you to death by lurking in the corner, suck your daughter into the TV, maybe possess your son. But in this story, if you come into physical contact with them, you suffer from something called ghost lock, and then you die. And that means not only do you get the suspense and thrills of a conventional ghost story, you also get all the action and adventure of combat with ghosts. Because of the problem, industry and culture has evolved in a different way. There's been no digital revolution. Analog technology is still hanging around. There are vinyl records, boxy TVs, no mobile phones, no laptops in the world of Lockwood Co. So weirdly, it's similar to the world when I was growing up, because it's not actually set in the 80s, it's just a parallel version of today that's similar to the 80s. It has everything good about the contemporary world as well in it.
My name's Lockwood. You need a ladder.
Lockwood is very fun, very daring, slightly reckless, very ambitious. I think he's quite funny. Some people don't. He's very skilled with a sword, and he has a lot of love for people that are very close to him. My favourite personality trait of him is how adventurous he is and how brave he is.
My name's Lucy. I've ended up in an agency run by two boys.
You know what I love about Lucy is she's just unapologetically herself. You know, I struggled with that as a teenager, but she's incredibly fierce, loyal, loving. Those that she considers family, she holds very closely to her. And I think she's badass as well, so that's why I love her.
That's George, his weird mate with zero social skills.
You better tell her about the biscuit roll. She can't just go taking two at once.
George is someone very unusual, very socially awkward, and very intelligent. What I love about him is probably how determined he is and how driven he is to finding out more. So his curiosity.
What was the experience of fighting ghosts actually like? How does it differ from what people are seeing on the screens? What was the process really?
We did like 2 months prep, stunt rehearsals, and then we'd learn the choreographies for fights. We learned how to sword fight, which was really fun. And then the VFX guys would come up to you with an iPad in the morning showing you, so this is who you're fighting, this is what they look like, this is how they move.
Yeah,
This is how big they are. Yeah, it would be like sort of 3D mock-up, which was amazing. It was very useful. So we'd sort of have an idea and sort of be able to use our imagination, which is almost more fun. But there was the Shmoo.
Yeah.
Shmoo.
The legendary Shmoo, which is an LED mannequin that was sort of puppeteered by Mikey, who was amazingly talented.
Yeah.
And it sort of is lit up, and you're just sort of swiping your sword at it, desperately trying to not actually hit it because it's a very expensive piece of equipment.
Funnily enough, talking about the shmoos, I remember actually in one of George's sword fight scenes in episode 8, I actually hit the shmoo with my sword.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
And its lights went.
The Shmoo was so that obviously, you know, fortunately you guys put it in the shape of, resembled a human body slightly, so that we kind of had a visual to fight off of, and you know, an eye line and things like that. But it also, like Cameron said, it was this LED light up puppet almost, so that when they came to the edit, the light of the ghost was on our face.
So that there's interactive light, so that the light of the ghost spills onto the walls, onto your faces. Then we take away the Shmoo, replace it with the digital ghost. Now the digital ghost is made up of the light from the Shmoo, then Christine, the performer.
Yeah.
On what, like she'd be on a wire
She was
harness.
on the harness doing
She'd like spin around, do the moves.
So she's an incredible acrobatic performer who is incredibly adept at wire work. She can do somersaults and fly through the air and dive.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a separate performer to do the facial stuff, facial capture, and then there'll be other performers to do the voices. So some of the ghosts are made up of, if you include the shmoo as a person, which
do.
let's face
Yeah,
it, we
we
do,
do.
and made
I
up of
remember at this point.
up to 4, even sometimes 5 different performers. Ruby, you did a bunch of training before Lockwood Co, right? When you were young.
I did circus training for about like 5 years, but yeah, I did like flying trapeze, tight wire, rope, silks, all that fun stuff.
But it was really useful for us.
Totally.
Cameron, I remember the first time you went to be assessed by Dave, the head of stunts.
Yeah.
He was, thank goodness, this guy is really physically capable and he's a natural with a sword. Because you're a sporty type, right?
I am. I'm Sporty Spice.
Wow.
Joe.
Scary.
Scary Spice.
Thank you. That was very, very useful for us. But George is a brainiac. I'm just talking about these extracurricular things you guys do that happen to connect to your characters. And you're studying in
English
your
literature.
spare time. What are
Yeah,
you studying?
part-time.
What uni? Sorry.
I'm studying at Oxford,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
In his spare
So there are
time.
these
Spare
weird
time.
facets of these guys that really fit with the characters.
It's not like it was on purpose,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
In the
think we-
Lockwood Co world, I know that it depends how violent or traumatic your death is.
Yeah.
Like that depends how powerful you are as a ghost.
Yeah.
So I really hope
Determined.
that we will have really weak ghosts.
Yes.
So
So we have
Yeah.
a peaceful death.
yes, I would haunt Joe Cornish.
I'd like to come back as like an animal ghost.
What?
Do you know
Sorry,
what I
what?
mean? You know, like
don't think that's
reincarnated
possible.
as a different animal.
Yeah? What
So
animal?
you could be like a bird.
I'd love to be.
Pikachu.
I'd love to be Pikachu. No, I
Pick and choose.
want to be a marmot.
A marmot.
Yeah.
This is a new obsession with marmots.
Yeah.
I was watching a documentary about marmots and they're amazing. So
Marmot.
I would come as a completely like photorealistic ghost. Like you couldn't tell I was a ghost, but I'm like translucent.
Yeah.
Maybe you are now.
Yeah, maybe.
How about we find ourselves a ghost? I'm working with maniacs.